Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? This is David, and today I want to talk about Game Pass and if it is sustainable. There's been a lot of talks of Black Ops 6, whether it's going to come out on Game Pass or not. And even before that, whether Call of Duty is going to come out on Game Pass or not in general. It was in the news that the executives were talking among themselves if Call of Duty should actually come on Game Pass, because Game Pass as a service may not be a very sustainable business model. And Game Pass might not be sustainable because they need to have a set amount of money every single month to be able to pay those publishers who publish their games on Game Pass. So if they want a certain game to be on Game Pass, they got to pay that publisher a set amount of money for it to be on Game Pass. It's just not gonna, it's not gonna be there just for free, right? A publisher, it's not gonna have their game on Game Pass just because of publicity. No, it's not gonna happen like that. They pay that publisher to put their game on Game Pass. And I don't think it works like Spotify where they get a percentage per install or anything like that. I think they actually, from what I've been reading, they get like a contract to put their game on Game Pass for a set amount of time. And then after that contract expires or whatever, then that game leaves Game Pass. I believe that's how it works, but there could be other terms as well with other publishers. Maybe some publishers want a monthly type of payment for their games being on Game Pass. It's a flat rate, right? I don't know how it works exactly, but either way, Game Pass needs to pay those publishers to be on Game Pass. So the more publishers that are on Game Pass and the more games that are on Game Pass, the more money that Game Pass or Xbox rather needs to show out to those publishers. So if Xbox is not getting enough monthly income from Game Pass to be able to be profitable and still pay those publishers to have their games on Game Pass, then it doesn't really make sense to have Game Pass as a business model, right? You rather just go back to the old business model where you just sold games and that's it. So now this is where something like a big franchise like Call of Duty comes into play, because you put Black Ops 6 out for Game Pass, right? And obviously you're going to have a big growth in your Game Pass numbers, but are you missing out on sales, right? Or are you actually gaining more money from Game Pass? And honestly, there are two ways to look at this, because if those same people that bought Game Pass didn't have Game Pass before and are now playing the newest Call of Duty and they're keeping their subscription for over 3 months, let's say, that does actually make Xbox a pretty good chunk of money. So for example, Game Pass is like what, $10 a month for PC, or if you pay the Ultimate, it's like $17 a month. And let's say they even increase the price to $20 or $25 a month. Basically, they would have to have the new Game Pass subscriber to pay at least 3 to 4 months of Game Pass to be able to get to the point where they would be able to sell their game at a discount, let's say, right? Even better, let's say that that Game Pass subscriber is paying every single month for Call of Duty to play the next Call of Duty, and they pay the entire year, right, just to play Call of Duty. So now that Call of Duty subscriber or a Game Pass subscriber has made Game Pass or Xbox more money from paying every month for Game Pass than they would have if they would have just bought Call of Duty by itself. So let's say somebody has Game Pass Ultimate, right? And they're paying $17 a month, 17 times 12, that's $204. Let's say they increase it to $20. 20 times 12, that's $240, right? So if they can get that Call of Duty customer to pay for Game Pass for even 1 year, they just made more than double the amount they would have if the customer just bought the game by itself. So this actually could work out in Xbox's favor. See, the thing with Game Pass is that, yes, they want to see growth. Obviously, they want to see more subscribers in the future and all of that. But at the same time, it is a subscription model. So they are always getting money monthly from users who are already using that service. It's not like a one-time flat fee and then that's it. They need more customers to be able to keep going. No, that's not how it's like. Game Pass is a subscription. I need to keep paying for Game Pass to access their games. So Xbox is getting paid every single month that amount of money. Even right now, with 34 or 35 million subscribers that Game Pass has, they're still getting a shit ton of money. So for example, let's say that they're getting on average $15 a month, right? Because there's a $10 a month subscription, or there's the ultimate, which is like $18 a month or $17 a month, something like that. So let's just say it's on average $15 a month. So let's just ask Siri, what is 15 times 34 million?
It's 510
$510 million,
million.
$500 million every month, guys. All right. Every month. So this is not every year. This is every month. That's still a shit ton of money. And if a lot of those Game Pass subscribers are still sticking around for years on end, they're paying Game Pass way more money for Call of Duty than they would have if they would have just bought the game by itself, right? So let's just say the new Call of Duty player is a Game Pass subscriber, right? Instead of buying the games, they're just paying for Game Pass and that's it. Now, Call of Duty is getting $240 or more every year for that Call of Duty game. Of course, they are still, they can still play the other games on Game Pass, but I would say a lot of Call of Duty players just play Call of Duty. Like that is their only game. So is this sustainable? Well, that just depends on if Game Pass is losing money or is making money because of those other publishers that they have to pay for having their games on Game Pass. I don't think so. I think Microsoft, and seeing who they are, I don't think they're losing money. They're not exactly seeing the growth that they want to see, but I don't believe that they're losing money. And I believe that Game Pass for them right now is a sustainable model, honestly. If they can get a set number of subscribers every single month to pay for Game Pass and not even play half the games on the service, then they're making money. Like, I honestly think Xbox has to lose a lot of money in order for this to be a failure, because they're already making a shit ton of money just from the service as it is, just from having the amount of subscribers that they have right now. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Have a great day. Peace.